about to fuck around and find out. And that just how happens to be New York area firefighters, right? So the New York firefighters, man, the FDNY, I got that spelled, because I know they do some different shit in New York. The FDNY, Fire Department of New York, they pissed right now. And the reason why they are pissed right now is because they had some funding that was gutted, There was some healthcare funding that was gutted in this House appropriations of the court of this last House appropriation shit. So Donald Trump has a couple people in his corner right now. He has people like Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk, and they are a part of this made up ass department that Donald Trump has created called the Department of Government Efficiency and shit, Doge, if you will. And here's the thing, there was a bipartisan agreement for a budget, for the United States budget, and the Doge motherfuckers are like, nah, man, fuck that shit. Nah, we gotta cut this shit out. We gotta cut. We can't be passing nothing. Here's the thing. Here's what they were trying to do. They were on some shit like, the United States government is supposed to stop and cease operating until Donald Trump becomes the next president. This is what they were on. And in so doing, they were saying that this particular bill that the United States Congress was trying to pass to fund the government, they were like, no. Y'all shouldn't be passing no legislation until Donald Trump becomes president of the United States, right? As a matter of fact, instead, what we want y'all to do, don't pass no bills, but if y'all do pass a bill and it comes to when it comes to funding, we want y'all to raise the debt limit right now so that we don't do this when Donald Trump becomes president. We can blame that on Joe Biden. They actually came out and said that shit publicly, right? They said that shit publicly. But in an 11th hour effort to avert a government shutdown, because of course, the Republicans are the ones who pulled out of the deal to fund the government. Republicans are going to take the blame on this shit. But in an 11th hour deal to fund the government, what they ended up doing was they ended up gutting the World Trade Center Health Fund. They gutted that. They cut that shit out of the goddamn funding for the United States. And so now, firefighters from New York are pissed. They are pissed. Okay? But here's the rub. They are pissed, but the people that they overwhelmingly supported are the reason why their funding was gutted. Make that make sense.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. No wonder you get D's and everything.
All right, so we get the story here. This comes out of CBSnews.com. It says the first responders who have 9/11 related illnesses have suffered another blow. Funding for the World Trade Center Health Program past 2027 was excluded from the federal budget on Friday as Congress scrambled to avert a government shutdown. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer released a statement saying, in part, Republicans must stand up for those heroes and pass 9/11 health funding once and for all when the new Congress begins. Get back to the Capitol and do your job, New York Governor Katie Hochul added in a post on Twitter. Members of the New York City's bravest gathered Sunday outside Ground Zero alongside a Christmas tree decorated with the faces of 343 firefighters who died on September 11th in 2001, a reminder to Congress to promise to never forget. It's unthinkable that 23 years later that we would be here on a 17-degree day begging for funding to recognize people who did the work, said Jim Brosey, president of the Uniformed Fire Officers Association. Never forgetting involves passing the bills that will continue to fund the health care for sick and dying first responders, said Andrew Ansborough, president of the Uniformed Firefighters Association of Greater New York. Fire union officials said that they will continue to push, for a permanent bill. To see that Congress could cut this out of all the spending in D.C. is not only shameful, but insanely disappointing, Brosey said. Brosi says 130,000 people with 9/11 related illnesses rely on the program for financial aid. That includes his late father, Lieutenant Joe Brosi, who died of cancer after being exposed to toxins at Ground Zero. To take that away from somebody, to say that you won't find it at, to take that away from somebody, to say that you won't find it after, you know what you exposed us to after, you know what the job did is disingenuous failure of government, Brosi's son said. Fire union officials said that more than 35,000 first responders have been diagnosed with cancer since 9/11, and without funding their health will remain in jeopardy. On average, we are losing 3 New York City firefighters every month, Ansborough said. We know you can't make America great again if you leave behind those who are sick. Y'all know what's wild, though? Y'all know what's really wild? Is that overwhelmingly those firefighters supported Donald Trump for president.
Supposed to feel sorry for that bitch. I don't.
Y'all supported this. Y'all fucking around and finding out. I don't feel sorry for these people. I do not. I'm sorry. I do not feel sorry for people who voted for this shit and are like now pissed off that this is what the fuck they supported, when I don't feel sorry for these people. And the reason why I know that they supported this shit. Y'all remember Donald Trump was found guilty in New York of falsifying real estate documents as well. Letitia James got a conviction in that case. This was her reception to what was that? I believe there was some officers being elevated to being officers in FDNY. This was her reception. And this is how firefighters treated this sister when she was like at this ceremony where they were being elevated at a church. This was their reception. Check this out. Let me pull this up so you guys can watch right on with your man Spann. Check this out, y'all.
Oh, come on. We're in a house of God.
Yeah, booing.
First, simmer down. Commissioner Kavanaugh and Chief Hodgins for that
you hear what they're saying, right? These firefighters out here screaming out Trump's name as she's speaking, right? That's what they're chanting. Trump, 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 Trump. Trump is out here and his cronies are out here cutting y'all fucking funding. But this is how y'all tried to treat someone who tried to hold Trump responsible for the shit that he was doing to the state of New York. This is what y'all were doing. Listen to this again.
Kavanaugh and Chief Hodgins for that recognition.
That right there, of course, the New York Attorney General Letitia James getting shouted down by New York City firefighters. They were reacting to the fine of over $450 million imposed on Donald Trump in his civil fraud trial. All right, you take any issue with that?
Come on, man. So y'all are out here shouting down people who are holding this fuck ass dude accountable, and then he gets in. Y'all vote for him. The people who are under his thumb takes funding away from you. Now y'all out here looking like stupid. Y'all looking stupid out here right now, fam. Y'all looking stupid out here, right? Y'all, this is fuck around and find out season for a lot of Trump supporters, man. I'm lying. I do take some pleasure in y'all finding out that, you know, they don't like y'all as much as they don't like everybody else. I do take I take a little bit of pleasure in it. I ain't gonna lie. Straight up. Because some of y'all was stupid in the motherfucker. We tried to tell y'all. People tried to tell y'all. Y'all didn't want to fucking listen. So now y'all got to find out the hard way. Unfortunately for the rest of us, we got to sit around here and find out too, because y'all was on some bullshit. But for those of y'all who voted for this shit, and y'all gonna find out that he don't fuck with y'all, oh man, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's glorious to watch y'all find out like I was a stupid motherfucker. Especially when people tried to tell y'all and y'all didn't want to listen. So, yeah, man, got that going on. Man. They firefighters mad at Donald Trump and his this is what's wild. This nigga ain't even president yet. And this is what we got going on. Real